Okay, my name is James Williams Sr. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. This will probably be a two-parter as well. And this is not for children because sometimes children need to be shielded from the worst things that we can shield them from. The living nightmare that is the human monsters that we are. And we are monsters. Whether you guys want to accept it or not, it's a whole other ball game. But humans as a whole, we are fucking monsters. We don't care about our fellow man. We don't. No matter what you say. If you're not in the army with me, then you pretty much know that I only trust people who have had some military service, and I only trust my dearest and closest friends because they accept me for who I am, and they're you know, it's kind of funny, but it is what it is. I'm sorry, reading a text, but the problem is really quite simple. Kids aren't racist. Adults are. Kids don't see color. They don't see race. They see their friends. They hold hands, they hug, they kiss, they shake, they play in piles of corn. Sorry, field trip was on my brain. And they do things with each other regardless of how light or how dark. They see a kid like me that's two-tone, they don't throw that shit in their face before they're 10, 11 years old. And why do they do it at that time? Because they're finding themselves. And we're teaching them this dumb shit at home. So your kid comes home and says, "Hey dad, this black kid started doing dumb shit." And the dad will be, "Hey, don't call him a black kid at home. He's a nigger." Now, why did I do that? Because I'm about to flip the script and do it again. Now, your kid comes home and you're a black man and you're a racist. Your kid comes home, "Hey dad, I want to talk to this white girl at school." "You don't talk to those honky people. You will find a black girl to marry, and I order you to do that way. I will just fucking own your ass." And now you're an Asian. Whether you are a Native American, or Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, a Laos, or a person of Spanish, Mexican descent, because if you are of Mayan, Incan, and Aztec, here's some bad news for you. Secretly, you're a Native American, and Native Americans are Asian. And the only reason you speak Spanish is because Cortez Spanish ass took over and fucked up everything in your three tribal languages. So therefore, done with that. So your little Asian ass comes home. You're happy. You're a little pretty girl, and this white boy likes you. And hey, Dad, Tommy wants to come for dinner, and Tommy's a white boy, and your dad's Japanese. Your dad does not like white people because he works for them, and they're always giving him those gook and slope and wetback talks, and every now and again he's walked in on them while they're talking about him at the lunch table. So your dad does not want you dating a gaijin, or if he's Chinese, he doesn't want you dating a guaylo. So when you're at home, he tells you, "No, you cannot date a gaijin or a guaylo or whatever they call black people as well, because I will forbid you and I will disown you." Again, we teach our children racist. Children aren't racist. Children are born innocent until we give them their opinion. And if you don't believe that, I can prove it. I can prove it because I've lived it. No, not my parents, because my parents have always said, if you marry a chick that's fucking blue or purple, hello Asaris, or Turians, no, if you marry them and they treat you well and they make you happy, you don't give a flying fuck what color they are. Not too many people tell their kids that. Most people are telling their kids, "No, you can't date out of your race." There's just one problem that everybody has forgotten. Ethnicity is not a race. There's only one race of beings on this planet, and they're called humans. We all bleed red. We all breathe air. We all fucking die. And women have a little bit more of an advantage because all of you, unless there's something wrong with you through birth, have fucking PMS. So by the time you hit about 11 years old, mom's going to have a talk about your vagina bleeding. So you should probably pay attention to your mom because you're going to need this lesson until you hit about 60 when you'll probably stop having the vagina bleeding problem. Now, I tried to be as polite as possible with that because I'm not in any way biased to chicks. Okay? I really love vaginas. Anyway, now, we teach our kids how to be racist. Sometimes willingly, sometimes unknowingly, and sometimes we're just assholes and decide, hey, I don't like this guy because he's black. but I'm friends with his daddy, but you and his son can never have sex. Ever. Now, what did you just do? You just pushed your daughter right into the arms of that young black man when they become teenagers and start knowing about sex. Now, why did you do that? Because your ignorant ass didn't know that kids do the opposite of what you tell them to do because they want your attention and your love. And if your daughter is white and she brings home a black man, and now you have to play like you enjoy black people. You know, kids aren't stupid. Alright? As much as you would like a child to be stupid, children are not stupid. They pay attention to the things going on around them, and they take that shit back to school. I was in the 3rd or the 4th grade. Some young lady called me a nigger. To this day, I'm still ashamed for punching her in the mouth and busting her lip. I should not have done that because I knew martial arts when this happened, and a real martial artist would have said the same thing I'm about to say. I should have walked away. I could have walked away. The problem was I had no reflex control. She called me a nigger. Hand happened so fast. When I realized what happened, blood was on my hand. I have never since then hit a woman that was not kin to me. Alright? And that's because we fight in my family. It's what we do. Now, for those people who are raising their kids to be racist, shame on you. Kids aren't racist. We teach them racism. We shouldn't be teaching them racism. We should be teaching them how to learn how to love, respect, and have empathy for others. Because you know what? And don't take this the wrong way, if you were born white, you were born privileged. Even if you're born poor and white. A white person will look out for you. They may not want to because you hang with black people and they call you trailer trash. But 9 times out of 10, if you're born white, you have been born blessed already. White babies are pretty much born happy unless their mom's a crack whore or a heroin addict. But black women also are crack whores and heroin addicts. Asian women also are crack whores and heroin addicts. Drugs destroy us all. Racism destroys us all. And why do I point all of this shit out? Because it's all fucking relative and you guys just don't want to see it. That's where the problem begins right there. When you're walking through life like this, and I say, I'm a white person. Oh, there's black people. Oh God, they're going to attack me. Oh God, oh God. Oh, there's Asian people. They're going to rip me off at the Asian store. Yeah. Because this is what I've been taught since I was a child. Take off your fucking blinders. The truth of the matter is, no matter what color you are, what race you are, whatever ethnicity you want to be, you're in more danger from people of your own ethnicity than you are from people of another ethnicity. Why? Because you think, in the thickness of it all, that you're safe from your own people. Yeah, that's a hard lesson you're going to have to learn. If you've never been beat up by a black person and you're black, you've just been damn lucky. If you haven't been beaten up by a white person and you're white, again, you're just damn lucky. You haven't been beaten up by an Asian person and you're Asian, again, you're just damn lucky. Because in countries where there are no minorities, there's just the majority, most of them all look the fucking same. Guys, don't think I'm telling you the truth, okay? America's the melting pot, alright? We have Chinatown, we have Little Koreatown, we have Little Vietnam in certain states. We don't have them in Virginia because as much as we have an Asian population, they all tend to seem like to get along a little bit better. But, you know, I know that Texas has a Little Vietnam. I think it's called Little Saigon. I haven't been there, but I've been told about it. And California, up and down the whole western seaboard there, they have certain little Asian cliques. They have Asian night. In New York, I know we have Chinatown. All right? I don't know if they have a Little Koreatown or a Little Vietnam town or whatever, but somehow or another, they have a whole bunch of Asian places up there, you know, and here in Virginia. We don't have a Chinatown. We may have had one, but wherever it is, it's not there. But we do have an Asian community where Asians pretty much stay. I don't know if other people stay in that community because I don't live there. I also don't really care. You know, but she's pretty. On the same half, you know, we don't have a place where we don't have little ghetto. We have ghettos. Period. You know, so whether you like it or not, you have your black community and you have your white community, and no matter where you are, they have the people in their community, and most of their communities are the same. You know, you haven't lived in a ghetto, so you don't know. I have lived in a ghetto, and I've had to fight black people, some of them bigger than me. I've never had to fight a white person in the ghetto. Ever. Okay? So, there's a little issue there. And yes, some white people do live in a ghetto. Not everybody is white is rich. Not everybody is white is racist. But some people that are white are victims of reverse racism. So, you know, there's racism on both sides of the track. Some people that are black are victims of reverse racism. I have been a victim of black reverse racism all my fucking life, actually. Because I've had to prove to people that I'm actually black. Alright? It happens. All the time. Motherfuckers will look at me like, I'm gonna tell you that most people will look at me and ask me if they can ask me what color I am. I don't really find anything wrong with that. Because there's nothing wrong with asking someone what their ethnic background is. It's just approach them as a human, and most of the times you probably get a decent answer. You probably want to ask them what kind of mood they're in first, just to be on the safe side. Now, before I end this video and go into part 2, you should all know that, I'm one of those people. If I don't know what you are, I really don't care. Now, if you're Asian, I'm not going to say, are you Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, etc., etc. I'm not going to go through that whole racketeer of lining, because you know what? I could be way off. You could just be fucking Cherokee. And a lot of people don't get that, and they'll be like, what do you mean I could just fucking be Cherokee? Well, you could fucking be Cherokee. Native Americans are Asian. Get over it. It's written down in the encyclopedia. Why don't you go take a look at one instead of using slide finger to find your information? Because sometimes they don't put everything from the encyclopedias into Wikipedia. Sometimes they leave shit off. Because it's too much to do the right thing. Now, you have to understand that when a child is born, most children, they come into this world, they're fairly happy, and then we take them home, and then life kicks in. And sometimes we can't provide. Let's be honest, and it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. You can be white, black, or Asian, and sometimes you just can't afford to do whatever the hell the child wants. But you can put food in their belly and a shirt on their back. And if you don't raise your kids with morals, they'll be the first one to tell you, well, Dad, you're an asshole. You're not even trying to get me what I need. But here's the thing. Dad's already giving you what you need. Roof, clothing, food. You don't really need much else. Oh, you need that $200 pair of shoes because Johnny has them. What does Johnny Dad do for a living? Oh, Johnny Dad is a lawyer. Johnny can buy 300 pairs of those $200 shoes because Johnny's dad is a fucking lawyer. Well, your dad, me, I clean toilets. I can barely afford to put shoes on my feet because you're more important. So those $60 shoes that I got you that aren't as cool as Johnny's shoes or Bethany's shoes, hey, motherfucker, I wore jocks. I shopped at Miss Tilly's. I had wore $6 shoes until I was like 15 years old. Maybe 13. But I wore them for a long fucking time. I didn't have money for Jordache. I didn't have money for expensive ass shit. Most of my clothes probably came from Rose's or Kmart because Walmart didn't exist at the time. Now most of my clothes come from Walmart because it's all I can afford. And to have some clothes is better than having no clothes. And regardless of what the little assholes have when they take you and go to school, which is why we teach kids about being racist and prejudiced and how to treat poor people, none of you guys have woken up to this shit. None of you are teaching your kids how to be more empathetic or sympathetic to how hard it is for poor people. And then you wonder why we don't have health care. And you wonder why health care should be a right and not a privilege. But you who come from money, this shit ain't affecting you. Not at all. And most of the time, rich marry the rich so that the money doesn't go anywhere. They don't really marry for love. They procreate so that they can have their fortune and they can't carry it with them, but they can sure leave enough of it to their damn descendants so that their descendants don't have to work and the cycle never stops. It's probably how those incest relationships start. Because when all the rich are married to each other, there's no one else for them to marry. So, and I'm not saying that all rich people do incest sex, so let's not go there, because that would be wrong. Plus, I have no proof of that. But I will tell you this, on the fucking for real. if we took 10 minutes to live in the life of someone else, if I could turn everybody black Asian for a day, and everybody Asian black for a day, they would be grateful in the lives that they had, unless they were wannabes who really want to be something else. If I could turn everybody white, black, or Asian, and they would understand how it feels to be on the opposite side of the track. They made a movie called Soul Man. Jimmy Walker and them did this in Good Times, and it's been done a lot in TV shows of my younger days, and people still haven't caught the moral lesson. Now, let me refract a little bit further back. I'll say that for the second video. I'm James Williamson. You just come for having number 2. Get ready for part 2.